Mike, you and I are big Knicks fans. The Knicks are on the Jets' mind. This quote from Garrett Wilson here. Quote, seeing the people, the way they get behind their team. I know Jet fans are frothing at the mouth to cheer like that, and we want to give it to them. That gives us a taste of what it might look like when we figure this thing out, which we're excited for the opportunity. Can the Jets turn into the Knicks? Words many would say we'd never say about the New York Knicks.
Yep.
Thoughts on these comments from Garrett?
Yeah, I mean that is the goal. I mean, I look over at what the Knicks are doing, and I wish I cared as much about the Knicks as I do about the Jets, because I don't even know. I wouldn't go a second without thinking about the Jets. I already don't go a second without thinking about the Jets. But if they were a really good football team in the Super Bowl, like, that would be unbelievable. And the I'm picturing MetLife Stadium, what it's going to be in Week 12 this year versus what it would be if the Jets were a team that was 9-3. They were first in the division. Like, MetLife would become one of the best home environments in all of football. We saw it Week 1 of 2023 against the Bills. Like, that place was rocking. Like, it was unbelievable to see MetLife like that. I'd never seen it like that before. But yeah, no, I mean, it was actually one of the more interesting quotes I saw from Aaron Glenn talking about the Knicks. Like, I think it was the longest answer he gave. I think he did about 10 minutes to the press on Thursday. And he talked about Brunson and just how he is as a leader and how people like want to follow that. And I think Glenn kind of adopted that mindset when it came to adding free agents like Minka, like Demario Davis, like David Onyemata. Like, it's clear that the Jets at least have a vision, but can they do it? I think we're sort of on the right track. I'm not sure if we have the head coach. I'm not sure if we have the quarterback, but a lot of the foundational pieces are kind of starting to add up for the Jets here.
Here's Garrett Wilson on the Knicks.
It's cool to see, and I'm glad I'm up here for it. I'm rooting the Knicks on like hell. And yeah, man, that gives us a taste of what it might look like when we figure this thing out, which, we're excited for the opportunity.
God, I really hope for a player like Garrett they figure it out. He's on the Mike Evans career arc. He stayed loyal to the franchise that drafted him. Mm-hmm. Eventually, they got the quarterback for him, the right team, and they won because it's just brutal, man. And again, as bad as the Knicks were, they never had a 15-year playoff drought like what the Jets have endured. Like, during the Knicks run from their last appearance in the finals to where they are right now, there were moments of happiness. Like, Carmelo provided a 54-win season. They won a playoff round. Like, there were moments we thought the team was headed in the right direction. The Jets haven't come close. Like, I don't even know what they've had one winning season during the playoff drought. They didn't even make the playoffs in that year.
We had Week 1 to Week 16 of the 2015 season was a fun time to be a Jets fan, and then that game against the Bills, Week 17. But yeah, like, for a guy like Garrett, he's been the most likable Jet, I think, since he's been drafted. He always says all the right things. He's never really out in the media complaining, and like, he's really just keeping it real. Like, when he gets asked about the Jets, like, yeah, I don't know, like, it's disappointing, but he's never going to be like, he's never going to say anything like really out of hand. And he's just been out. Like, if we could do it for a guy like Garrett Wilson, that'd be awesome. And also do it for the fans like us. Like, I was freaking 8 years old the last time the Jets were in the playoffs, and now I'm covering them, living in Dallas. Like, if you were to tell me that when I was 8, like, I probably wouldn't have believed you. But yeah, the Knicks have had moments. The Jets haven't really had moments. 10 years since we've had a damn winning season.
It's hard to believe.
It's unbelievable.
Here's Aaron Glenn talking about Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, it's hard not to notice it. And I tell you what, that is a gritty team, and it's hard to be a gritty team without gritty players. And it all starts with the point guard. And I mean, you could tell that the leadership, the fight, everybody follows that, and it's easy to follow that. And he's a guy, and I continue to say this, that leadership really comes down to one word, and that's influence. And you really see the influence that he has. And it's not always verbal. There's a lot of just what he do and how he operates. So, man, pulling for those guys, I really am, because they play their ass off. And it's fun to watch, and it's good to see.
Grit seems to be the new Jet line. The Knicks are a very gritty team, so there is some semblance of a comparison there. So it's interesting to always hear the other New York teams talk about a team that's actually winning right now.
Yeah, I guess grit might have been the word of the day on the calendar for Aaron Glenn that day, but I think he said it 3 times there, had the T-shirt there. But yeah, like, I took away from that The fact that like I look to the DeMario Davis signing, and not that I'm comparing Davis to Jalen Brunson, but a guy that you can get in the locker room that can actually show some sort of leadership for the team, for the defense. Like, because last year we had zero accountability across the entire defense. Like, we needed guys like DeMario, Onyemata, Minka Fitzpatrick. Like, yeah, they might be towards the tail end of their careers, but for right this moment, what the Jets team needs to do is build some kind of culture, build something that we could look towards. We need to be able to point to at least one or two things like, hey, the Jets do this well. And getting guys like Davis, Onyemata, Minka Fitzpatrick, at least we're trending in that direction. You could tell the way that Aaron Glenn talks about Jalen Brunson, that those are the kind of guys he's trying to get for right now.
All right, Asmaniacs, listen up for a second. No matter what you're watching, whether it's New York sports or any game you didn't plan on caring about, there's no better way to stay locked in than with PrizePicks. It's daily fantasy made simple. You're just picking more or less on player projections. That's it. No complicated lineups, no nonsense. Just you versus the numbers. And here's why I love it. Even if it's a game you normally wouldn't care about, once you got a lineup going, you're locked in. Every play matters, every drive matters, every at-bat matters. I've been mixing sports too. Maybe a little football, throwing some baseball, maybe some basketball, and now you've got action across the board all night, and PrizePicks makes it even better with features like early cash outs if your picks are hitting, the ability to mix multiple sports in one lineup, and you can even see what other people are playing and tail their picks. So if you haven't tried it yet, what are you doing? Download the PrizePicks app right now. Use code HMA. That's HMA, and you'll get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, it's HMA on PrizePicks. PrizePicks, where it always feels good to be right.
Ever to do what I think exactly they're going to do. And now I watched them with Brunson, and I watched Shamet going freaking 12-13. I watched Mikal Bridges be worth not only screw 5 first rounders. He's send Brooklyn and their 9 fans another 10 first rounders. Screw it. Like this Knicks team is so much better than it was in previous years, and Brunson could be the best player on the court any given night against anybody. I don't care if it's SGA. I don't care if it's Wemby. Like, he, in the final 5 minutes of these games, can take over when he's needed to.
We've seen it countless times in the playoffs, regular
doubt.
Season. There's no doubt about that. All right, let's do some calls. If you want in, now's the time. There's only one person currently on hold. Hit it.
Adam is cool, although kind of basic. He claims he's too cool, though often quite basic. He makes great jet points, looks a little basic. Adam is cool, too cool, but basic. Some would say generic.
Hey, what's happening, guys?
Hello, Adam.
Yeah, I usually don't bat lead off. I'm usually the closer. What's going on?
We're switching it up, Adam. We go in order around here.
I love it. Well, anyway, it should be a really good game today, and we'll see who the Knicks end up playing. I think Wembanyama is just one of those like truly, truly generational players that we get to witness. I always talk about this with my friends. Like, I asked my dad, like, what was it like when you got to see like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar play? Or like Wilt Chamberlain play, like these truly like superhuman people like live. And I feel like this is the opportunity to like say we got to watch Wembanyama, because there'll probably be nobody like him ever again already. Yeah. He's just
I think if you drop somebody in to watch game 7 tonight, and no matter how they performed, like they've never watched an NBA game before, they'd be like, Wemby that guy's the best player in the league, right? Like, you watch him play, and it's unlike anything that we've ever seen, unlike anything that we've ever seen in the NBA. So it's like, yeah. I say I want the Spurs, but then I imagine like, oh shit, we got to play Wemby every night. Like, that's it. It's going to be difficult no matter who it is for the Knicks.
Yeah, it will be for sure. I mean, he got the experience at OKC, but Wembanyama, like people may not remember, like he already was a pro before he reached the NBA. He was a pro in Europe, so the learning curve for European players is a lot faster than folks that are going in through college that have a different level of conditioning that's required to compete in the NBA. And, you know, it'll be a treat either way, but I'm really looking forward to seeing the Knicks pull through. I think it'd be really great for the city to finally see a championship for the first time in a while. And also it's just nice to see these stories where a team really can break through finally and just have it all together. And they're fun to watch. That's the best part. The Knicks are a fun team to watch. So
very likable team too, which is why I think a lot of people gravitated to them as well.
Absolutely. So rooting for you guys. I hope that everything works out really well. No more injuries, please. I mean, I'd like to see 2 healthy teams play, let the best team win, but hopefully we win Knicks. That'd be pretty sweet. Moving over to the Jets, I think it's great that Kate Cleveland's hitting the ground running, or they're setting them up for success. I think that I'm curious really about the Aller hype, whether or not they really were interested in Aller, because if Reich and Klubnik really just vibe together, that's like, when have we had that? Like a quarterback and a head coach that are like genuinely enamored with each other. Maybe Rex and Sanchez? Is that what?
That sounds about right.
I think of.
Yep.
That boded well for us, even though Sanchez didn't spend a lot of time with us. But in the end, that was pretty cool. Since he's hitting the ground running, I'm looking forward to seeing him in the preseason. Like, he should be starting the first 2 preseason games, and if he kicks butt in both of them, maybe you sit him for the third, because you've seen everything you need to see anyway. And you take it from there. Let him grow into the backup role for now, and let him see where things go with Geno, see where things go with the Jets, especially those last 5 games of the season. I mean, I think he'll probably end up starting 2 or 3 of those games, unless we are super competitive. It's a win-win for us, because then we're not like throwing Cade into the wolves, so to speak. We're letting him grow into it. And Reich has positional experience at the most important position, and it matters. And this could be Reich's last legacy to the NFL, legacy to us as fans, is to at least get somebody that maybe worst case scenario is like our long-term backup for 10 years, which we've also wished we had. That wasn't Tyrod Taylor. So
yeah,
lot to look forward to on that. And then you were talking about grit. I mean, look at the players that were drafted. A lot of gritty players in those first 4 picks.
And guys who won before too.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, we know who they are. But even the grit, like getting the best edge rusher in the game, like you can't not have grit and be good in that position, especially when everyone knows you're premier. I mean, I don't know what the double team tape was on Bailey, but I mean, for him to produce and people to know he produced and he still did it, demonstrates that, in that kind of role, you have to just keep trying. You can't stop. If you give up on yourself, then you're not going to get to the sacks. So it's someone that really just loves doing, and someone that just loves getting the results. So you got a results-oriented guy at number 2. You got some gritty Indiana players that, self-explanatory in terms of what they've gone through as a program, and especially Cooper, because Cooper really did come in from the doldrums into success. Pons was inherited through JMU and was a SIG guy, a little different. Then Sadiq also has that edge to him that I think that we're going to really see more of. I think there's a lot of West Coast, not a lot of West Coast visibility here in the East Coast. It's just reality. Yeah. So I think people see Sadiq, and a lot of people didn't really know him when it was all said and done. But I think that there's a lot to like, and I hope that he'll show up in the preseason.
I definitely think he'll be ready by then, and I believe Rich is reporting. I think he'll be ready by training camp.
Mm-hmm. I think so too. We don't did they hate to say this, it's kind of gross, but where was the hernia? Because I've heard of there's some hernias that are in the midsection. Those other ones that are more towards the groin area. Any more details on what that hernia was?
Jay, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's towards the groin, because Glenn, I think he kind of mentioned.
Well, he said it was a groin injury first, and then they asked him for what type of injury, and then he said, or did he say? I think his initial comment was he had an injury. He's going to be out. Then they asked him what it was. He said a groin, and then someone followed up, was like, well, what type of surgery was it? And he said hernia.
Yeah, I think that's what it was for I mean, it's just, hopefully it's just something that doesn't linger. I mean, you already have Jets fans being like, well, he's been hit with the Jets curse. He's already a bust. We shouldn't have made the pick, but he'll be I think he'll be fine by training camp. I trust Rich's reporting there.
Good morning. Happy Saturday, gentlemen.
Happy Saturday. Good morning, Kyle.
So, I think Landon's got a good point about Musgrave and Reich. They're old hands at this. It's encouraging, but until we see a quantum leap in improvement from, our boy Glenn in game management type stuff, we're gonna have to take it one game at a time. I'm not gonna get over my skis about this team until I can see him do it. That I thought last year was so wildly disappointing for a guy that came in with such bravado and and what appears to be a false confidence. So we've got to see it from him, right?
There's just nothing to base it on that he knows what he's actually doing. Like,
right.
Like that. That's the thing. It's not like we could point to one thing he did well last year and be like, well, like with Salah, it's like, well, at least we know we could coordinate the hell out of the defense. Like, there's nothing with Glenn right now I could say, well, at least we know we could do this.
Yeah, Jake, we talked about that. I think the last time I was on about 3 weeks ago. This Jets team in 2025 was not going in to tank. Like everybody looks like they look to the 0-7 start and they go, well, it was the Jets, it was Justin Fields. They were going to, no, we were trying to win. We were trying to do what we were trying to do this season. And that's to win, look like a competitive football team, look like a competent football team and win 7, maybe 8 games. That was supposed to be last year. So Glenn, I guess, gets the mulligan for last season. Now he's really got to go out there and prove it. We can talk about him all we want, but he's got to go out there. He's coaching for his job this season.
I kind of joined the show late. Have we heard? I don't think I've heard anything about Omar Cooper at OTAs. Have you guys had any impressions of him at all? Because
he was rotating with the other starters with the offense is the only thing I heard. There was I think there was one highlight the Jets posted of Cooper catching a pass from what looked like Geno, I think, in one of the reps.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. I mean, I mean, obviously, he might have to take a bigger role. At the outset, if Sadiq is going to be slow to come back, we don't know if this guy is going to be his peak or if he's going to be able to deke or, we don't know. We don't know that much about what the injury recovery for Sadiq is going to be like.
I mean, Jake, you mentioned it. Rich Cimini reported that he'll be back by training camp. I trust that. I actually sit across from somebody at work who's had 3 of those, like 3 hernia injuries. I think one of them when they were like 10, one of them when he was in his teens, and now like in his 20s. Like I don't know if it's going to be a recurring thing for Sadiq. I hope not. But he said, it's not too serious. It sounds a lot more serious than it is. Like when you hear a coach say it, like hernia, and he mentions the groin, you kind of get a little concerned. But as of right this moment, concern level is pretty low. But I don't like the mention of the groin from Aaron Glenn.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much the guy across from you is playing professional football, but I think Sadiq's got a little bit more time than even a month, right? Like if he had this a couple of weeks ago, it's going to end up being over 2. I think that he's going to end up having, and then they'll probably take it slow with him when he comes back. I think he'll get, the mental reps, but maybe some of the physical stuff will be a little bit slower. I'm not too concerned about the injury, unless somehow it lingers, or if it's somehow prone to recur.
Yeah.
I wanted to hear if we had gotten anything else on some of the new weapons, because, while I think there's going to be a market improvement based on some of the improvements we talked about with the position coaches and some of the other weapons that we brought in, a slight upgrade in quarterback, at least, that's what we really have to hang our hat on for this coming season. The defense, I don't think anyone knows what to expect, right? Mm-hmm. When you're transitioning to a new system, you've got the head coach trying to save his job, desperate, calling the plays. And, we could be just as bad as we were last year, or we could take a bit of a leap into the middle of the pack. And I don't think that the fan base should be surprised by either. That's pretty much all I had. It's killing me waiting for this Game 7 in the Western Conference to kind of occupy my time.
All day, we're just waiting.
Yeah, just waiting until tomorrow. And the weather is not quite what it had been here in New York, but I appreciate your time, guys.
Hey, Kyle, I did something nice for you. You ready?
Yeah, what's that?
Yell out, Coop. Here's what the Jets blessed us with the other day.
Coop. Take care, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Kyle Clifton.
Great point, Jake. You hit it right there.
Listen, I was trying to get in all day yesterday. I don't know what's happened. I kept going in and out. But anyway, so yesterday was my big birthday, number 75.
Wow, Dave. Happy birthday.
Oh, yeah. Hey, tomorrow Joe's Willie's birthday. I think it'll be 83.
How about that? You guys share a birthday week together?
A lot of birthdays in May. Yeah, been cleaning up, but we're cleaning up. My wife and I are cleaning up. Look what I just found. Look how old this deal is. Right?
Wow.
Remember that one, 2010, right before the playoff game? I think this is probably the last time you had any joy, right? Or no, the next year when we played Pittsburgh. 60 minutes to glory.
Season. Yep.
Yeah, it never came to fruition, that game, you know? And the next year too. But, I've put in before, seeing is believing, right? So that's what we got to hope for. That's it.
The Knicks have given me some hope, Dave. If they could do it, so can the Jets.
Well, I feel good for you guys. At least you have some joy somewhere,
Yep. It's nice.
Right? I'm not an NBA fan. I stopped watching that a long time ago when they lost defense.
Do you have a team?
I used to like the Big Dipper, Wilt Chamberlain. So that goes way back. But the last time I liked basketball was with the Pistons, the Bad Boys.
The Bad Boy Pistons.
Remember the Bad Boys, the Pistons?
Sure. The back-to-back champions.
Yeah, that's the last time they played any defense, I think, in the NBA, right? That was good. That was the last time I watched basketball. But anyway, I feel good for you guys. So hopefully you win. But I guess you got to be cool with those celebrations so nobody gets hurt.
Yeah, I haven't seen any more. People have just been. I've been out there a couple times, and it's just people just jumping around in joy. Like everyone's just having a good time.
Yeah. So what do you think about Klubnik? That's our great hope. I like
what I've heard so far. I don't expect him to be the guy long term, but why not root for him to prove us all wrong? We'll see if he gets a chance to actually play and how. I think we'll get a chance to play. It's a matter of how many games does he actually appear in, right? I mean, I think he's on the team next year no matter what. So if you draft another quarterback and he's there, why not? The more guys you have in the pipeline, the better.
Well, I think he gives us good signs here, and I think this will tell us a lot about our coaching. Because if you can coach this guys up, there'll be no need for this Sorsby guy coming in. We don't need that distraction. We have enough distractions. I think they're sold out on this guy until we're proven wrong. I don't think they're going to bring in another guy. I just think that'd be foolish. A lot of people say for the competition, but he's got enough competition there. You don't need another guy. We don't need this distraction of a guy that's like got big problems. We have enough problems here. Trying to get back to the winning ways is our goal here. So we don't. If you have this guy, there doesn't seem to be much difference between drafting using a supplemental pick. Then we have 3 picks next year. I don't see. I believe that the organization is not going to do that. It would be foolish. I know that people say, bring in more guys, more competition. But if you think this guy can do something, you have to try to develop him.
Agreed.
See what happens, and hopefully this is the guy. Listen, we've been waiting a long time. I know it's like a shot in the dark. I don't think it's more than that, but at least it's hope. It's hope. At least he shows a lot more than Zach Wilson and Fields. They just couldn't figure anything out.
I mean, Zach Wilson, there was no hope. we tried to talk ourselves into it. It just never happened.
Well, he couldn't process anything. There was nothing upstairs. The man couldn't process anything. It was he makes what made him was throwing one long ball at the combine. That was it.
Yep.
Douglas was foolish drafting that guy. But anyway, so we'll see. Hey, you know what? And as far as Jaquez's daughter, son wants to be a Bears fan. Well, remember when I won that? I didn't win the jersey, but somebody in the show, I won a jersey through somebody else, and I donated to Gary's daughter, and she became a Bears fan. You know what? I guess she stayed one because she never said thank you for the jersey. So I guess she became I guess she stayed a Bears fan because he never said anything about it after that.
No, I never even.
He never said anything.
That's it.
Remember when that happened?
Yeah, I do. You're spot on. You know what the problem is, Dave? It's tough to tell a kid to keep rooting for such a bad team when they look around and they see scoring and points and a fun home field crowd when they're watching it on TV. They see that's the stuff that kids stick with. And the Jets have had an empty building and no offense on top of just being bad.
Well, both of my nephews, when they were small, as a matter of fact, during this year, he had 60 Minutes to Glory. My one nephew had all little Jets posters on his bedroom door, which my brother-in-law didn't appreciate. Anyway, guess what happened? He became an Eagles fan.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And the other one liked the Cowboys. So you don't win. I guess that's what happens. There's very few guys that stay long as we do. We just I don't know what we are. We're gluttons for punishment, Jake. I guess
exactly.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.